Sony did it again. Sony has done it. Sony has done something that it's kind of messed up. Hi, welcome to ZGadgetReview. Sony today finally announced the PS5 Pro. This is going to be a mid-cycle upgrade to the PS5 in order to boost its performance. So this new PS5 Pro is going to cost $700. $700. And this is a mid-cycle refresh of the console. So in about 3 years, probably to 4 years, we're going to get a new PlayStation console. So a PS6 or PlayStation 6 if the trend continues. Now, $700 for what this machine is going to offer, to me, is not worth it, all right? And I'm going to tell you exactly what it is that it's going to offer, and you let me know if you think it's worth it. It's going to have an upgraded GPU. It's going to have 67% more compute units than the current PS5 console, 28% faster memory. Overall, this enables up to 45% faster rendering for gameplay, making the experience much smoother. The other thing that this PS5 Pro is going to give you is advanced ray tracing. They've added more powerful ray tracing that provides more dynamic reflection and refraction of light. This allows the rays to be cast at double and at times triple the speed of the current PS5 console. And lastly, of course, because everything is AI nowadays, this new PS5 is going to have AI. AI-driven upscaling. We're also introducing PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution. That is what they're calling it. Or PSSR for short. An AI-driven upscaling that uses a machine learning-based technology to provide super sharp image clarity by adding an extraordinary amount of detail. As you have been seeing, there's some examples of the upgrades that you can expect with this new machine. This new machine is going to be backwards compatible, if you can call that backwards compatible, with a bunch of games, but specifically some games that have already been released either recently or a long time ago that are going to take advantage of the new technology. There are no new games announced yet that will take advantage of the new technology. The games that are going to take advantage right away of this machine are going to be Alan Wake 2, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Demon's Soul, Dragon's Dogma 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Gran Turismo 7, Hogwarts Legacy, Horizon Forbidden West, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, The Crew Motorfest, The First Descendant, and The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. So for $700, you will be able to play the same games that you can already play with a little bit of boost on the ray tracing and the assets, and things are going to look prettier according to them. Now, this is going to be available November 7, 2024, again for $700. Yeah, I don't know how or why this will be worth buying. Based on what I'm looking at, the difference on image isn't going to be that huge to warrant a $700 price tag. Oh, also, this is going to be a diskless console, so you won't have a disk drive in order to play discs if you have any games. You can buy the separate accessory, the separate disk drive accessory that sells separate. This is going to be compatible with that, because why not? And I know that's not a big deal because most people play their games digitally nowadays, but there is a subsection of people who obviously buy discs. Otherwise, Sony wouldn't have taken the time to make a separate peripheral to sell you if they didn't think there was a market for it. Of course, again, I don't think that that's a big deal because the majority of people do play their games digitally. So to me, that's not a big deal. But in reality, this console is being made for one game. And one game only. That is Grand Theft Auto 6. Grand Theft Auto 6, as we know, has been announced. They did this trailer for it, letting us know that it's coming sometime in 2025. We don't have a specific date. My assumption is going to be towards the end of 2025. And that is what Sony is betting on. Sony is betting on that people who want to play GTA 6 with the best graphics, with the best settings, want the best console, are going to buy the PS5 Pro. Maybe not right now, but maybe next year. And that is a way for Sony to also test what the market bears. I can guarantee you that if this machine sells well, you can expect the next console that comes out later, 2027, 28, whenever around that time, that it costs around $700 to, I will say, $800. And the excuse is going to be if people paid for the PS5 Pro, which is a mid-cycle refresh and not a brand new console, then why wouldn't people pay more money for a brand new console that can do more than what the PS5 Pro can do? To me, it's not a warranted price point, and not a lot of people are going to disagree and be like, well, it's more powerful, blah, 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 blah. But it's not. It is not powerful enough to warrant that price. And I know what a lot of you are going to say. If you were to make a PC around the same specs, it's going to cost you more. I get it. But also a PC is a completely different machine than a PS5. So you can't really compare both because they're different, no matter what you say. And I've had this argument with a lot of you before when I said that the Xbox Series S was going to make gaming worse, because if Microsoft is forcing people to make games run on the Series S, that means that you have to develop for the lowest common denominator game, a console, system, machine, whatever you want to call it. And that's the Xbox Series S. And that's what a lot of people don't think about. Developers aren't going to spend resources into a game to just run on one console. If you're making a multi-platform game, you're going to try to make a run. If you have to make a run on the Xbox Series S, make a run on the Xbox Series S, Series X, and the PS5 vanilla and the PS5 Pro. And as we know, the gaming industry does not care enough about us to spend that money. So they're going to go with the lowest common denominator, which means that the PS5 Pro is going to be a machine that gets some enhancements as long as they're first-party games, but not necessarily from third parties, which kind of creates that issue of, hey, I just spent $700 to play the best I can play, and then using minimal gains on that, or minimal returns on your investment. I think that Sony should have just priced this at $650 and call it a day and be like, hey, here's what it is. I think that will be more manageable and make more sense for people to who will want to upgrade. I think it's funny that Sony thinks that this thing is worth $700. It's ridiculous. Is what it is. And Sony is, again, just knows that they don't really have anything else going on, where this machine is a machine that's going to save them and turn things around, I guess, somehow. But I don't think that's going to be the case. So that's just my 2 cents. Now, let me know in the comment section, what do you think about the pricing of the PS5 Pro? What do you think about the gains that we have seen on the examples that they have given us? Is it worth it to you? Will you be buying it or not? Let me know in the comment section once again. That is it for me. Go ahead and subscribe, give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Go ahead and hit that bell so you can be alerted every time we have new videos. And thank you very much for watching.